Yo, good morning, everybody. What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Spray Paint back at you with another video, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the gang. Shout out to the squad. Everybody from everybody. Everybody from everywhere that been rocking out with me from day one. Ain't nothing but some good positive vibe this morning, man. But before we hop into that, y'all know what time it is when you come in here. Hit that like button. Show your boy some love. That shit ain't gonna take nothing out your mouth, dog. But this video here is about Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Uh, a lot of people got them hate Trump. You know what I mean? A lot of people love him. You know what I mean? But how I look at it, he's a president that stand on his word. You feel me? If he say something, he mean it, whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? That's what type of president he is in my eyes. And all the presidents that I've seen in my years of living, I never seen nobody do it like him, period. And for him to pardon Lil Wayne and Kodak, bro, it just make you think. Cause I'm just thinking to myself like, damn, if I was in that situation, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, I got all these millions out here. I got bills I gotta handle. This COVID shit going on. You know what I mean? It's like that shit make you feel like the whole world on your shoulder. And like with the Kodak Black situation, I heard, it was rumors that guards was beating on him and shit, and they put him in like I don't know, was it a mental health ward or put him in a mental chain gang, probably, where the mental health people be at or wherever the case may be. But, I remember they were saying that, they were saying like the guards was basically extorting them in there because, just because you got millions and shit, when you go behind that wall, you know what I mean? It's a different ball game. Like them officers don't give a fuck how rich you is. Them officers don't give a fuck who you was on the street. Like that shit over with once you come behind that wall. I explain to, little young niggas all the time, it's a different ball game uh from the streets and the chain gang. You know what I mean? Cause nobody don't know who the fuck you are in there, and nobody don't give a fuck who you is in there. But for everybody to be saying like, oh, President Trump, he ain't for the niggas. He hang with the KKK, blase squaze. Man, look, that man just helped two niggas. You know what I mean? They was probably gonna drag the shit out of Kodak because he bought pistols. You know what I mean? Like he was a convicted felon, so they were gonna drag him for a minute. I bet they probably wasn't gonna even let him come home this year because I already know how the system is when it come down to uh felons getting caught with firearms. Like they drag the shit out you about that shit. And Lil Wayne just did a year, what it was like a year, 11 months or a year from when he did that shit in New York, got caught with the strap. And I know if he would have went back in the judge with another firearm, standing in front of that judge with another possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, that shit wasn't even gonna look good. No matter how many millions you got, how many records you sell, all that shit be out the way. You know what I mean? Especially when it come down to this color here, that black, that skin. You know what I mean? You stand in front of that judge with that type of skin complexion with another possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. A possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. That shit wasn't gonna look good. And I'm willing to bet you it definitely wasn't gonna be no year sentence because that's a federal offense. You know what I mean? That shit wouldn't have had nothing to do with the state or none of that. They was gonna drag the hell out of them because they was gonna go by the guidelines. And I got several homeboys that uh had that same charge, and they weren't even millionaires. But going by the guidelines, that's 60 months off the rip. You know what I mean? Nothing less. Ain't nothing under five when it's a possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. You know what I mean? That's 5 years. So if you just get something else just added to it, that just, you know what I mean? That just added more fire to the fuel, however you want to say it or whatever. But it's 2021. Trump finna leave the office, but he gonna be remembered. I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say. That man gonna be remembered because whether motherfuckers don't wanna admit it, this year when he let that money he blessed everybody with the little bread or whatever, everybody said it wasn't nothing but 1,200 or whatever the case may be. Cool. But some of us didn't even have that money during the time. So for him to do that, you ought to be thankful. And shit, I'm thankful for. I'm not Kodak. I don't know Kodak or Wayne personally, but for the simple fact for him to extend his hand and make sure he handled that like he did that shit like that was one of his personal homeboys. You know what I mean? They black, bruh. Like he don't owe no niggas no loyalty. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he the president. He he the president. He do what the fuck he want to. And I don't think no other president would have did that for Kodak or Lil Wayne. I don't even think Barack would have did that before he would have got out the chair. You know what I mean? Because when he said he was gonna get Big Meech out, I mean the streets been waiting on Meech to come home for a minute. So that just let me know right there. It's just a big old question mark. But I'm willing to bet you if Donald Trump said that he finna pardon Big Meech, we would have known just like we know right now what he just did for them boys. But anyway, let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section. Spray paint, I'm gone.